Hi everyone, I hope you're having a good weekend so far. Let's go ahead and take a look at today's tarot. It is raining here in Paonia, which is quite lovely because it's been so dry, but because of the fires that we had last year in Colorado, a lot of the ground isn't soaking up any of that moisture, so we're actually having some mudslides locally, which is a bit of a bummer for some people who have fairs this weekend and are trying to travel because some of the roadways are actually shut down. So that's a little bit of a glimpse of my world. You'll probably hear some more thunder as we go throughout the reading. The opening card that we have for today is the Four of Pentacles. The challenge that we're facing is the Knight of Pentacles. The way we're going to get through that challenge actually came in as two different cards. So we have the Chariot and the Ten of Cups, and then the overall energy that we have for today is the Ten of Pentacles. So I'll go ahead and walk through the cards as far as their general reading, and then we'll go into the astrology that it's touching on for today. The opening card is the Four of Pentacles. So we are doing a bit of financial budgeting and inventory right now, taking a closer look at our resources and shelling ourselves off a little bit from the outside world so that we can take a closer look at our own values and what we actually have to work with. The challenge that we're facing is this energy of inertia. Like the things that we want to move forward aren't quite moving, they're not budging, and so we feel a little bit stuck. We feel like a little heavy in some areas in our lives. Now the way that we are going to get through that is a combination of these two cards, the Chariot and the Ten of Cups. Now the Ten of Cups is a card that's all about reaching some kind of emotional pinnacle, like your emotional wish around relationship or ideal scenario in that realm. And the Chariot is close to that too. It is related to Cancer, which we'll touch on when I go more into the astrology. But this is bringing up, who tells us what is important in our lives? Like, where does that inner voice come from? What engages us to go out on our own and leave the comforts of our surroundings to venture into a new experience? That's the energy of the Chariot. You can see that this person is in a literal chariot. They're traveling outside of their familiar surroundings, and they are being guided by these two Sphinx-like characters in front of them, one that's white and one that's black. But neither of these characters have any kind of yoke or collar around them or leash around them. And so it's a matter of balancing our own willfulness and our own sense of desire to go out into the world and attain something or do something that this card is calling to. It's reminding us to place our spirit over our primary material concerns, which far too often in our culture, material concerns are placed at a higher concern, even though ultimately what our soul bears is what we engage with in a spiritual way. Now, I think these two cards are coming in together and coming in as a way to get through our place of inertia, because it's asking us to move toward our own spiritual wish and what that feels like. And if you consider that, Cancer is a sign that's ruled by water, and cups are related to water, it asks us, what cup do we want to drink from in life, and where do we nurture ourselves, and can we move toward that rather than just staying in this place of inertia? Now, the overall outcome is the Ten of Pentacles. So we have two tens coming in today and a bunch of pentacles. So of course, we are looking at earthly matters today. We're looking at our financial concerns. We're looking at how we take care of our physical body. We're looking at our belief system. And ultimately, we're coming to a perspective around a place of gratitude around what we actually do have, despite all the chaos around us, what we can actually be grounded with in gratitude, and get a better idea, a better vision of what that looks like. Tens in numerology are related to a crystallization or something coming into form, because before that they're just in movement, they're just in process of coming into form. And so, a crystallization in some sense can be seen as negative because it's solid and not moving, and it's when something's moving that we have the greatest potential. And yet this card begs the question, when we're looking at attaining this like material idea or getting to this kind of pinnacle of goals, it begs the question, like, do we ever get there? And do we ever get to like stop working? Or is it something that we always want to put our heart towards, something that is of value, that gives us value in our life? And it makes me reminded of that place of retirement that people go to, and they look forward to going to retirement so that they can actually do the things that actually make their heart sing. And I think we should be putting time towards that each and every day, because that makes life worth it. So that is our tarot. I just wanted to touch a little bit on the astrology that came in for today. The astrology that came in through the charioteer, or the chariot, which I had mentioned is related to Cancer. Right now we have Mercury that's sitting in Cancer, and that is in opposition to Pluto, which is over there in Capricorn, and is also close in proximity to the moon. And so we have like this energy that's going on right now between how we see things, because Mercury is how we see things, how we describe things, how we look at things, how we talk about things. And it's basically, in opposition to Pluto, which is all about transformation and change, and like change you can't go back from. Consider the transformation of the caterpillar that goes to the butterfly. Like, you can't go back to being the caterpillar once you're the butterfly. There's this ultimate transformation, and we've all been going through this on a major global scale, and we're going through this big change. And once we go through it, we can't go back, to kind of what things were. And so it kind of forces us to get an idea of what we can actually see through this storm that we've been in. One of my friends posted today, they were like, can people just take a look at, what they gained through this experience? Did you gain closer connections with people? Did you gain a better sense of self? Did you gain a clearer idea of where your passions are and what's important to you? And how did that land on you? How did that transform you? How did that crystallize into a new way of seeing life and the mystery of it, and how it all gets shaped in front of our eyes? I have been reflecting a lot recently on this idea of crystallization, and this idea of how we get shaped as beings in the world. And many people, all of us really, go through life, and we have this idea that if we somehow can avoid hardship or avoid sorrow or sadness, that like we'll get this gold stamp of experience, and we had the best karma around. And yet I see so many people who go through hardship, and I don't think it's a karmic punishment that people go through hardship. I think it's part of our lives, and it's part of what shapes us. And so in many ways, it's those experiences that shape us, much like if a crystal had been shaped by its experience and by the pressure that it had been formed under. It gives a different facet to how you can see within that crystal, and the light that you can see within it, and the shimmers that you see within it. And much like that crystal, we also are shaped and gain perspective in and through the experiences that we've gone through. And in many ways, we've all gone through this experience together in some shape or form, even though it's been different for each one of us personally. And so it has brought me again and again to a place of gratitude, and what I do have gratitude for, because I think it is a disservice to our world and this great creation to always be looking at that one thing that's out of place when there's so much beauty and so many blessings that surround us all the time. I send you so much love, and if you are looking for a reading or would like to know how these astrological transits are affecting you, feel free to reach out. If you are interested in my orbs, check them out at rootsofalchemy.com. I have some different designs and styles there, and you can also check out my Instagram, Roots of Alchemy, and it will have up-to-date new pieces that I've just made up there as well. I'll see you again soon. Have a beautiful day. Take care.